Welcome to In the Deep. I'm your host, Catherine Ingram. The Navajo have a saying, "May you walk in beauty." And of course, not everyone gets to walk by beautiful seasides or gaze at a starry night with no light pollution from the ground, such that you were able to actually see the stars and the moon. Not everyone gets to walk in a forest or sit on a mountainside. Many people in this world are in circumstances that are harsh. How are they able to walk in beauty? How is it possible for any of us to walk in beauty anywhere, anytime? So as with so many things, it's an inside job. Isn't it interesting how you can be in a great mood and you walk in a particular place, or you sit in a particular place, maybe a cafe, or you're in your local grocery store, and everything looks kind of beautiful. And there's a gentleness, and there's a sense of flow, and there's a welling up of appreciation. All this food here at the grocery store, or you're at the cafe and you pick a word out of a menu and someone actually brings it to you. All triggering feelings of delight and warmth. And suddenly the waiter's face or the waitress's face looks so lovely. Or the couple sitting nearby, even if they're not even speaking to each other, maybe they're reading the paper or looking at the menu. Suddenly your eyes see differently. Well, it's possible to really induce that way of seeing, that way of feeling, I should say. Because in a way, the experience of beauty is really the feeling inside of yourself. The feeling inside of yourself is generated by how you're using your attention. It's a very simple formula. The way that you're using your attention is conditioning how you experience whatever is in front of you, whatever is your direct taste of this existence. So you can make a heaven of hell, and you can make a hell of heaven. You can do this, you make the experiment yourself. You can sit in a very beautiful place, classically beautiful, and be tormented by thought, obsessed by something is missing, something shouldn't have happened, something might happen. And conversely, you can be in what might be perceived by many as very harsh, ugly circumstances, and feel very light inside, and maybe find some little tiny sprout of a thing within that harsh circumstance that lifts your heart. And of course, I don't mean that this is always applied. There are certain circumstances that are so extreme and so cruel and so painful, physically painful also, that are hard to transcend in any way. So I'm not speaking about those, but I'm speaking about the kinds of ordinary difficulties that people experience. They don't like riding the subway, they have to go to work, they sit in traffic, and so on. All those kinds of just stresses, ordinary stresses in a life, many, many of them, that we make worse by our story in our head about how horrible it is. In this redirecting of attention, whereby the attention is lightly floating, just lightly in present awareness, experiencing one's own senses, noticing if you're able to, if you're sighted, then you can be noticing with your eyes. If you can hear, you can be noticing sounds, and so on. Your senses are awake. And just letting the senses be floating along in open space. Then it's strange how much beauty one starts to experience, and also how beauty infuses our life. When one's attention is very easy, very light, there's a lot more noticing and appreciation of little simple joys, little simple sparkles. We could call that beauty. And it's as though your well is drip, 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 being filled by this infusion of beauty and appreciation. Long ago, I saw this movie. It's called Mask. It's not the one with Jim Carrey, which came later. It was one that starred Cher, and I don't know who the actor's name was, but he had that elephant man disease, which deformed his face. And you saw at the very beginning of the film his face, and it was at first a bit of a shock. But he was such a cool, fabulous human being that after a short time, you forgot anything about his face being not normal or okay, and he just seemed like a beautiful being. And you really kind of fell in love with him during the course of this film. He was a very remarkable, cool character in this dramatic portrayal. Like that, your vision, your actual perception is transformed by the inner experience. Born in quiet, born in ease, allows you to walk in beauty in this world. This has been In the Deep with Catherine Ingram. If you'd like to find out more about my work or make a tax-deductible donation in support of these podcasts, please visit catherineingram.com. And you can follow me on Twitter at Cath Ingram, CATHINGRAM, for notice of additional podcasts and other musings. Till next time.